Victor Sanchez is Didac, combining with Melendo on the edge of the box. Lovely footwork from the little Melendo. This is better. Espanyol showing tremendous urgency. Jordi Alba forced to put that one over the line for yet another corner for Espanyol.
You're bang on, forced to because of the lack of communication from Marc-Andre ter Stegen, and they're acknowledging that now between them, that if Stegen had said, you're fine, stop, turn, or you can put it out for a throw-in to your left, then the moment of panic from the Spanish international wouldn't have been there, and it wouldn't be a corner.
Victor Sanchez puts it in. It'll be a goal kick this time. Graham, it's not the first time we've mentioned this lack of Marc-Andre ter Stegen's of shouting to his defence. Yeah. He let Lenglet down last weekend in the Camp Nou with that awkward ball that Gerard Moreno hit
I
the
made
post
a big
with.
point of the fact that everybody hung Piqué out to dry against Leganés when they were 1-0 up and eventually lost 2-1, when Piqué needed to be told, you know, you can't put it back across the goal. So I agree with you, it is a tendency. Maybe it's Stegen concentrating so hard on the other parts of his work that one slips through the gaps, but an elite goalkeeper does exactly what you say, doesn't leave Lenglet or Alba in the situation we've seen in the last 2 league games.
Well, surely there it's down to Gerard Piqué as the leader of this defence, the veteran central defender, to say, look, scream at us, let us know whether you're coming out, whether you're not. It doesn't take much. Busquets with the clearance, ball at the feet of Victor Sanchez, whips one over the top, advantage Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Duncan McMath, Espanyol, pushing Barcelona back a little bit over these last few minutes, clearly seeking to get some momentum going here.
Well, they certainly had to, didn't they, after the disastrous start they made to this game. And we've talked about how Espanyol have been so much better this season. In fact, this game is the closest that the two sides have been since 2010 in terms of points. At the start of this game, Espanyol just 7 points behind Barca. That game in 2010 ended 5-0 to Football Club Barcelona, so I'm sure the fans will be slightly worried that the same's going to happen here.
Messi over the top to Suarez off the base of the post. Arturo Vidal can't quite make the rebound pay. He does win a corner. Suarez didn't make the contact he wanted. Again, a piece of magic and inspiration from Leo Messi. Suarez here lays it back to him. There seems to be no danger. Suarez continues the burst through the centre of the defence, just gets a touch to it, ahead of Oscar Duarte, beats Lopez, but is frustrated by the base of the post, and Vidal coming in to pick up the rebound, stretching, couldn't quite make it pay.
Fifth official watching in admiration, just losing himself a second or two.
Messi with a corner. Driven into Jordi Alba, who volleys it. It's blocked by Lopez. Sergi Dade, this could be a break. Chance now as Perez sprints at Semedo. Semedo standing his ground, taking the ball off him with sumptuous ease there, Graham.
Left foot tackle, right foot pass. Exactly as you pointed out earlier on. His maturity, his decision making makes him a different footballer for Ernesto Valverde. Absolutely epitome of what you pointed out 15 minutes ago, demonstrated by the young Portuguese there.
Graham, or Duncan, if you can hear me too, what an amazing corner from Barcelona. Messi playing it to the edge of the penalty area, Jordi Alba getting it exactly where he wanted it. Striking it on the volley. If it hadn't been hit straight at Lopez, Barcelona could be looking at a 3-0 lead. Meanwhile, here's Suarez. Outside him, Dembélé. Dembélé can't see it back! It's an astonishing save! It's hit the post again! It should be 4-0. Lopez deserves a bit of luck there because he's been put under pressure and responding well. Messi with his head going through his hair. What a break from Barca. Absolutely astonishing. Dembélé, a brilliant cross into Rakitic. It's a fine save. When you save it and you see it land on the forehead of Leo Messi on the edge of the 6-yard box, you think, oh no, what have I done? Saved by the post.
Well, I know we've got an audience in Brazil, but I hope Pelé wasn't watching. He made something of a fool of himself, the legendary Brazilian, by saying, Messi, this guy with one foot and the other for standing on and can't head the ball well. Admittedly, there he did pick out.
There's only one thing he can do well, he said.
So I give you no, if you're listening, Edson Aranzo de Nascimento, then I give you no ammunition, but maybe it's worth a little laugh there because you don't usually see Messi miss chances like that, even though Rakitic was offside. And it's just worth saying, that little Phil Mickelson golf shot from Dembélé, again, just like he supplied to Vidal in the Clásico, the 5-1 over Real Madrid. Dembélé quietly is having one of his very best games for Football Club Barcelona.
Well, Duncan, the home fans must be completely stunned by this first half performance because it's 2-0, but I mean, it could be 4.
It certainly could, Simon. You said it just a moment ago. Barca have been so close to a couple more goals, and I think more than anything, they'll just be so disappointed with the level of Espanyol's performance. We had that little spell where they were getting players forward and they created a couple of opportunities, most in fairness coming from corners, which hasn't been the way Espanyol have been playing this season. It really hasn't. If you haven't seen Espanyol, they've been fun to watch. They've been a team that like to attack, that like to have the ball. But what we're watching today is very similar to the Espanyol we saw under Quique Sanchez Flores last season, in Espanyol, who aren't having much of the ball and aren't creating pretty much anything in terms of goal scoring opportunities.
That one given away, one by Didac, his Borja. Well, he's trying to seek Melendo, but Busquets this time was the man quick to block the pass. On the edge of their own box, Barcelona looking very, very assured. That one goes all the way through to Diego Lopez.
Little demonstration of respect there because Vidal won the ball, made the 1-2 down the right-hand side and put a nicely lofted ball over the top for Suarez. When Suarez doesn't like Dembele's efforts, his arms are flailing like a windmill. He held his arms up there to the Chilean saying, yeah, good point, King Arthur. You had the right idea, I was slow. That's a little demonstration of how much respect Vidal earns already in this squad.
Nice control. Here's Harry Lopez. Sergi Dade, Rakitic shadowing him. Alba's there to block. Dembélé. Oh, it's collected by Melendo. Back to Marc Roca. Didac blocked by Vidal. Just prepared to put his body in the way there. We're into the last 5 minutes of this first half, and Espanyol really need to be looking to pull one back if they can. Meanwhile, it's Leo Messi on the ball. That usually spells trouble. Still Messi. Roca can't get near him in the end. A couple of rebounds and the ball goes through to Diego Lopez.
Simon Hanley rebounds. That was a Messi knee shot. He planned all that. Okay, take it back.
Sergi Darder. Lopez. David Lopez. Inside to Marc Roca. Sanchez on the overlap. That Villa. Semedo. Sticking with him, the cross is a good one. Well, not too far away from Hernan Perez.
Should have scored, Simon. Ball was right, it hung a little bit. If it had been coming a little bit quicker, opposite little moment between Hernan Perez and Alba there. Alba going, I couldn't jump me there.
He's got a height advantage.
Really, Alba works so hard that it just means that Hernan Perez can't get any downward trajectory on it, but I still think they should put that in target.
Here's Leo Messi. Wins a free kick, bundled over, combination of Didac Villa and Sergi Darder. Free kick in the centre circle. Well, Leo Messi giving clearly a highly motivated performance so far tonight. Alba.
I think you've got to feel sorry for Espanyol, Simon, because Messi's, as you say, highly motivated. Dembélé looks highly motivated. Two of them having probably one of their best games of the entire season, and it is difficult to play against a Barca side when Leo Messi's in form. If you add Dembélé to that as well, then it's doubly difficult.
Dembélé doing just enough Hernan Perez to put him off his stride. Rakitic goes down. Sergi Darder penalised. It'll be a free kick to Football Club Barcelona. Darder not happy. The referee absolutely clear. And there's the challenge again. A high boot catching Rakitic, I think, on the hip. And stern is the look on the face of Rubi. Leo Messi standing over the dead ball. Swinging it out towards the head of Vidal. It's cleared by Lopez, only as far as Busquets the flag up for offside.
You know, Rubi hasn't got a great deal of experience coaching his sides against Football Club Barcelona, particularly in the form that you and Duncan and I agree they're all on tonight. But he did work at the Camp Nou for long enough to understand how it is that Barcelona treat games like this, when the opponent says, we will try and close you in our final third and then break. We'll suck you in, turn you, play the ball over, then you try to outrun you. And I feel that he will review this first half and think that he's contributed to it. He had a very clear game plan. It patently could have worked. There were a couple of breakaways.
Here's Javi Lopez. Can't link with Melendo, finding Busquets instead. Rakitic to Vidal. Vidal in turn to Semedo. Semedo to Messi. Rakitic returning it to Messi. He's got Dembélé running to his right. Messi can't quite quite link with Suarez.
There he is chasing back. I mean, look at him chasing back. Wow. When you see him do that, which is about once every 4 or 5 years, you know that he's really misplaced a pass.
Yep. And Messi winning the ball back deep in his own half, having given it away in the first place. We're into the final minute of what's been an entertaining opening spell here in corner yards. Played back to Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Stegen given time to think, plops it through the middle. It's controlled by Vidal. He in turn finds Dembélé. Suarez pointing ahead, and Dembélé putting there. Suarez getting there ahead of Lopez. Still Suarez, and the ball in the back of the net. Does it count? There was absolutely no angle left there for Suarez. There's a huge smile ear to ear on his face. A superb through ball from Dembélé. It looked as though Suarez had no chance. He got that muscular body of his in between the ball and Lopez, tried to take it wide of Diego Lopez, the ball practically on the byline, and somehow he squeezed it into the back of the net. It's Espanyol 0, Barcelona 3, and huge problems for the home side.
There's two really important things to say here. Number one, the genesis of this move is Messi running to win the ball back again. Okay, they build from the back after that, but without his effort to recuperate possession, it doesn't end in Suarez doing this. And secondly, what a pass from Dembélé, who I reiterate, just is building, brick upon brick, probably the most complete 45 minutes of his entire Barcelona career.
Duncan McMath, the home fans are going to be absolutely frustrated after that opening period.
They certainly are, Simon. They're off now for their half-time drink and bocadillo sandwich, and I'm sure some of them will be thinking, may as well go home. It's been a disastrous first 45 minutes for Espanyol, but Barca have been in scintillating form, especially Ousmane Dembélé. He's now got 6 goals this season.
Life is full of challenges, but a champion takes on whatever life throws at them.